Okay. Okay. Let it out. Don't try to hold it in.
Ooh, I didn't know this was gonna bring this much out of me. Ooh.
What's like the craziest or most traumatic story that you would have from doing sex work out here? Because you was 15 years old. Like, did you have a concept of how much to charge or whatever?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, the first time I ever on the street, I charged him $5. Yeah, she told me that she loved her wife more than she loved me, so it kind of really pushed me away from my mama, and it pushed me to the streets more.
Like, you was 15, I was 19 at the time. There was no way. Like, if any drug I was gonna do, there was no way it was gonna be crack. Just for the sheer, like, embarrassment of what it represented out in the streets. What made you do that? When you was out here during your teenage years, did your mom know you was out here?
Yes, she did. She did.
What did she think about that? What's up, YouTube? Marcus IRL. My new channel, a behind-the-scenes peek into my life as a dad, a content creator, and a man. Make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications, because I'm going to be going live, and you never know what you might see. So go subscribe now, Marcus IRL. Also, you want to see me get beat up? It's on the first episode of Atlanta Street Boxing. Go check it out now, and if you like it, subscribe. Now, back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with another one. So we got a young lady with us today. How you doing today, miss?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You know, I just come here to check on the other interviewee, the former interviewee. So you said that you wanted to talk.
Yes.
That you've been waiting to run into me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So first and foremost, are you homeless?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How old are you?
Currently, I'm 37.
37. And so how long have you been homeless?
Off and on for since I got out of prison, which was in 2017.
Okay.
I've been homeless off and on since then.
So it's been a while.
Yes, it has.
Okay, since about 29 years old.
Yes.
All right, and so what'd you end up going to prison for? How long were you in there for?
Well, I was back 14 years ago. I was on crack.
Okay.
And on these same streets, Glenwood Road.
G Block?
Yes. And I was smoking crack, and I got caught up with another person's bomb. And of course, you know the code of the street. You're not snitching. I'm not telling on nobody. I joined the gang at the age of 15.
Okay.
Which is the Bloods, and been that since. And back to my homelessness.
Okay, so real quick, pointed question.
Okay.
How long were you in prison for?
I was in prison for 6 years.
6 years,
Yes.
okay. And you went to prison basically for having a bomb and not telling whose it was?
No, they charged me for the bomb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you didn't snitch, and
No.
so, was it your bomb?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so the person whose bomb it was,
They took care of me.
Okay, so they took care of you while you was in prison and
did.
everything else.
They
Okay,
did.
okay.
They did.
Wow, 6 years?
Yes.
In the
6
prime
years.
of your life?
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie, man. That's not a good trade-off.
It's not.
But we'll talk about it. So okay, because essentially you've been then just kind of down bad for 14 years since you was 23 years old.
Yes. Off and on.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about that. So 23 and before that. Okay, we'll tap into that. Would you have any kids?
I have 6.
When the hell did you have time to have 6 kids? How old are these kids?
Okay, so my youngest is 8 months,
Okay.
and then I have a 13-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 19-year-old. How many that was?
13, 15, 19, 8 months, that's 4.
19 and 21.
Okay, so we said 19, 21. So we got 21, 19, 17 15, 13,
and 8 months.
and 8 months? The heck kind of gap is that? Why the 8 months?
It wasn't supposed to happen.
I get it. Trust me, I know how it happens. All right. Okay, but so the oldest is 21.
Yes, sir.
So you had that kid when you was about 16, probably got
17.
pregnant over 15. Okay.
Yeah.
17? Math is a little off, but okay, got you.
She finna be 21.
Okay, finna be. I was about to say I do pretty quick math, but okay.
She finna be 21.
All right, no worries. So 17. So okay, so and how many different dads? So 6 kids, how
All
many different dads?
6 different dads.
Different dads, okay.
Yes.
6 different dads.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been married?
I have never been
No,
married.
okay. So, yeah, let's just, all right, so why has it been like hard for you to get back on your feet after prison?
Because I'm suffering with heart failure, and I'm a liability to a lot of places. Not saying that I haven't tried to apply for jobs. They can't use me.
Why?
Because I have heart failure. It's hard for me to keep on my feet for a very long time. It's hard for me to work at the pace that they expect me to work at.
Okay,
And
but what about like stay-at-home jobs, or jobs where you're
a
like
convicted
talking
felon.
on the phone, stuff like that?
I'm a convicted felon.
Well, I get it, but so you can't have like jobs where you're customer service over the phone, things like that? Have you tried those?
I haven't. I have not.
Okay, so we'll put a pin in that. All right, so real quick, let's just start from the beginning. So where you from?
I'm from Decatur.
You from here?
I am.
You from the east side?
I am from the
Middle
east side.
finger with the 5-6, that zone 6, that big east side, all of it, man. Shout it out. Shout out the whole city all day. All right, so growing up here on the east side, did you have both mom and dad in the household?
Yes, sir.
Were they
I
married?
did. No, they wasn't.
Okay, but they were
My
together?
dad was like, he was
Rolling Stone?
He was.
He was doing his thing?
He was.
Okay, but did he
was.
live in the house with you or not? Here and there?
I stayed with my mom, but I was from my mom and my dad. My dad's from the west side. My
I get
mom's
that,
from
but
over here.
in the household that you grew up?
No.
Okay, so it's just single
It was
mom
just my
household.
mom.
Okay.
It was
And
just
how
my
many
mom.
siblings do you have?
My mom has 8 kids. I'm the third.
You're the
of 8.
third. Okay. How many different dads did y'all share?
That I can remember, it was my dad and one other man that I remember.
Okay, how many kids did she have with your dad?
She have 2 kids with my dad, me and my older sister.
And then there was 6 other kids?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so growing up, would you say you had like a fairly normal childhood?
Kind of, sort of.
What's the not kind of, sort of?
Because me and my mom didn't get along, and I was kicked out at a very young age.
What age?
Like 13. My mom has told me to my face, I love my wife. This is my mom married a wife, a woman. I love my wife more than I love you. And it hurt me, oh my God.
So she's, I guess, gay or whatever?
Yeah, she was gay.
Okay. Let it out. Don't try to hold it in.
Oh, I didn't know this was gonna bring this much out of me. Ooh. But yeah, she told me that she loved her wife more than she loved me. So it kind of really pushed me away from my mama, and it pushed me to the streets more. So I never really had a place to go home to. My sister is my only go-to when I go home. And my auntie, she have my kids. But it's just not, I get bored when I'm at home. It's nothing to do.
So let's talk about this. So you got kicked out at 13.
Yeah.
And at that point, she was a lesbian. She had a wife, everything else.
Yeah.
And were you having issues with the wife, or like what?
No, it was her. It was my mom. The
so
wife
then,
loved
why
me.
did she say that I love my wife more than you? What was the point of saying that? How did that come up if there was no issues?
So I remember like it was the back of my hand. One day, my mama asked me to roll a blunt for her
At 13?
at 13 because I was smoking outside.
Okay.
And I told her, no, Mom, I'm not rolling no blunt. If you smoke, you ought to be able to roll a blunt. So we went on to argue or whatever, and she was like, see, bitch, that's why I love my wife more than I love your ass right now. And I didn't cry instantly, but when she put me out, she told me, she was like, get out my house. You can go, you can leave. She put me out in the rain with all my shit. I don't give a fuck where you go, was her exact words, but get the out of my house.
And this is because you wouldn't roll her
Because
a
I
blunt?
wouldn't roll her a blunt.
Were
My right
you
hand
her
to
normal
God.
blunt roller? Like, did
No,
you normally
her
roll?
wife was.
Why didn't she know how to? Did she know how to roll blunts? Or?
My mom don't know how to roll blunts.
But she smoked.
She smoked like fuck.
Okay. So, wow.
Yeah.
That happened at 13?
13.
That
Yes,
is
it did.
really crappy.
It was.
Okay, so let me just go ahead and get this out the way. So, when you were younger, did anything like ever happen to you or anything like that?
Okay, so yes, my uncle, he touched on me and he used to touch me and my sister.
Your
My
older
mom-
or younger sister?
My older sister. We have the ones that had the same dad. Me
Uh-huh.
and her have the same dad. He touched us. He tried to fondle me while I was in the shower. He also tried to touch my sister when she was laying asleep on the couch. And we told our parents. They didn't believe us.
What age did that happen?
This was a real young age. She was like 11. I was like 10, 9, something like that.
But why would he have to be in the shower with you at 9 or 10?
I was in the shower. He wasn't in the shower with me. He came in the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
And he was trying to fondle me. Like I didn't know what he was trying to do.
Okay, because like at that age, it's not like you need help cleaning yourself
Right.
or anything like that.
Exactly. And
Was that just a one-time thing or was it ongoing?
Well, he tried it one time with me, and he tried it one time with my
Okay.
sister.
But never like anything further than that or
No.
nothing? Okay, but what effect do you think that had on you?
Trust issues. It made me trust men. This much trust in a man. When he tried to do that to me.
What age did you like end up losing your virginity or whatever?
I lost my virginity at the age of 15.
15. Okay,
Yes.
so it was a little bit later.
Yeah.
Than when that stuff happened. But okay. So because you say at that point you had joined the gang and everything
Yes.
else.
I did.
So what was 13 to 15 like for you? Because from the time you got
13
cut out to from the time you got kicked out to the time that you joined the gang, like what made you decide to join the gang, I guess? So what happened in between those years?
Well, I had no family. That's around the time that I got, well, didn't get, but he was trying to fondle me. I didn't want to be in the house with him. And when I was there, I'd be out on the porch most of the time, or I try to avoid him by all costs. So
I mean, you brought it up. Have you ever been R-worded? The word you just said earlier? I can't say it on YouTube, but the R word.
oh yeah,
Okay.
yes I have.
What age did that occur?
This happened out here on Glenwood Road. I say, closer to 2000. It was like 2010, 11, like right before I went to prison.
I was about to say, that sounds like right before you went to prison.
Yeah,
So
I got right back here behind this church by the FedEx. By the
right down
FedEx,
there, yeah.
by the
So
FedEx.
what happened?
He picked me up.
So this is
And
when
he-
you was doing sex work?
Yes, I was.
Okay. What age did you start doing sex work real quick?
I
Was it like
started
15 or?
Yes, it was. When I started smoking at 15 also.
Well, you said you were smoking earlier than that because you said your mom kicked you out because you wouldn't roll
No,
a
I was
blunt.
smoking crack at 15.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was smoking crack.
Okay.
I started smoking crack at the age of 15.
What made you start smoking crack at 15?
I tried it with a homegirl in Kirkwood, and I stopped for a minute, and then I seen it again, and I was like, I know what that is.
How long did you stop for?
Probably about a year. And then I seen it again, and I was like, well, I want to do it. So nobody ever tricked me into doing it. I did it on my own.
And we're close to the same age, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out. We knew what crack was. We
Yeah.
called people crackheads. We called
Yeah.
people mama crackheads.
Exactly.
All type of stuff like that. We jump people
Exactly.
out about crack all the time.
Exactly.
What would make you do that? Like, you was 15, I was 19 at the time. There was no way. Like, if any drug I was going to do, there was no way it was going to be crack. Just for the sheer, like, embarrassment of what it represented out in the
Right.
streets. What made you do that?
Your guess is good as mine. I seen her doing it, and she was a girl that I was messing with at the time.
I was
And
like, on the
how
lesbian
did-
type
yeah,
stuff? Okay.
Yes. I was like, how did that make you feel? She was like, it's just a little quick rush. I was like, well, let me hit it. And she let me hit her pipe, and I was hitting it wrong, so she showed me how to hit it.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the feeling automatically, because it was just a little tingling feeling all over my body.
Mm-hmm.
So we kept getting high that night, and I stopped because I went back home. And I got mad about something else, and I left. And the people that I was staying with, somebody there was doing it also. So I was like, I know what that is. They was like, you do this? I was like, I have. So that's when I started.
And you was like 16, 17 at this point.
I was like, I have.
So when you was out here at 15, and what made you decide to sell yourself for the first time?
Smoking.
Okay, so the
And
crack.
needing money.
Needing money for crack. Okay. When you were doing that, because you was 15 years old, like, did you have a concept of how much to charge or whatever?
Well, I'm going to tell you, the first time I ever sucked a dick on the street, I charged them $5. $5.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, because I didn't know. I was a newbie, so I really didn't know. But my homegirl, the girl that took me under her wing, she was also a smoker, but she was a nice looking woman.
Right, had her stuff,
she kept
had it
herself
together,
up.
like, right.
She was like, I'm gonna tell you something. Don't you ever in your life charge some nigga $5 to suck his dick. I don't give a fuck how bad you want to smoke. So she was like, if you gonna do this, I'm gonna show you how to do it right. Her name is Shantae. I'm sure she won't mind because she's clean as well as I am.
Okay.
So she was like, if you gonna suck a nigga dick, you charge that nigga at least $40 to suck his dick. From then on, I was charging $40. I was getting my money. I was still smoking. I migrated from Belvedere to here.
Shout out to Belvedere.
Yes.
That's where I'm from. Shout out to B-Town, man. Shout it out. Yes, sir.
And I migrated over here. And when I first came over here, someone was like, you're too young to be out here. Glenwood is gonna eat you up. I said, we'll see.
So, I mean, so I have several questions. One, what made you stop smoking?
Okay. My jail sentence. And I told myself, if you could sit in this jailhouse for 6 years
and not smoke,
do no
then
crack,
you ain't got to come back out here and do it.
Then you can stop for good.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I got
thank
back
God for that.
Yeah.
And what was like the highest amount you would charge when you would be out here?
Like if you wanted to fuck me, it'd be like $125.
Okay, so
yeah.
The reason I asked these questions is just to figure out how you was living. You know what I'm saying? What type of money you was bringing in.
Yeah.
When you was out here during your teenage years, did your mom know you was out here?
Yes, she did. She did.
What did she think about that?
I mean, she have always, she would come and she would be like, well, why don't you get your shit and come home and smoke? I just want you out these streets. I look at the news every day.
Hoping to not see you,
hoping to not see you dead or...
Well, then what would your response be?
You don't love me, you love your wife.
So going back to that moment. Is she still with that lady?
No, she left her. My mom used to do her dirty too. She left her. She did.
So, is it not possible for y'all to make up after all this time?
Oh no, me and now today, me and my mama, we are cordial. We talk on the phone.
Have you ever told her that moment has such a huge impact on your life?
Yes.
What's her response to that?
She tried to apologize, and I accepted her apology, but
it clearly still has an impact.
It does. It does because...
Well, look, one of the things that we do on this channel is we talk to people when they're not right in front of us. Just helps us to get out all of our real feelings, okay, without feeling like we got to sugarcoat or be manipulated or anything like that. So if there's anything lingering that you just want to get out off your chest to your mom or anything, go ahead and take this time and do it now.
Okay. I love my mama. Mama, I love you. If you're watching this, I love you. You know I love you with all my heart. I forgive you for the words that you have said and the way that you treated me as a kid. I forgive you for it all. I want our relationship to be better. And I miss you.
You only get one mom, you know? And
that's it.
Even if they're like not, because nobody's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. Right. And that was definitely shitty. What it sounds like she did. The shitty parenting, shitty person type energy, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you only get one mom.
Exactly.
And no matter how imperfect our people are, you know, once they're gone, they're gone.
Right.
And so it's always best to try to make things right before that happens, right? So, and so what about your dad? Because you never really said much about your dad.
Okay, my dad, now, that's my guy. I love him to death. He do anything for me, and it's been like this since I was a child. It hurt him to his heart when he found out that I was smoking, and that's when he really just cut me off. When he found out I got clean, that's when he came back into my life and left like and came
Picked
back
up
like he never left.
Yeah,
And he was like, I'm glad you're better. Like, when I was locked up, he would write me, I would write him, and we'd keep in touch. And he asked me all the time, are you gonna get out on the same shit that you went in on? I was like, no, I promise, Dad, I promise. He didn't believe me.
Let me ask you though, where was he when you was 13 and you got kicked out of mom's house?
With his other baby mama.
Why couldn't you go stay with him? Because then maybe you wouldn't have gotten none of that stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, so
but it was just so hard. It was hard to even be around family because with my mama telling me some stuff like that, I didn't know what to think about nobody at that point.
With your mama telling you some
my
stuff
own mama
about
would
what?
tell me that she didn't love
that
me,
shit, yeah.
I didn't know what to think about nobody.
I get that, man, but it's like, I get it, but I don't know. I'm a dad, and I'm a dad, you know what I'm saying? So I just can't imagine my daughter, either one of my daughters being just out here and me not doing everything on this earth and back to make sure that she's good and that she's not out here. Point blank period. So I don't accept those like excuses. I just don't.
Right.
But so and you're still maybe seeing it from a kid perspective. But I see it from an adult perspective, like, nah, you can't do that. You just abandon your kid and like then gonna be mad that she's on crack and on this and on that. What the hell do you think is gonna happen? You put them out to the streets. Streets gonna eat them up.
Right.
So, all right. Well, listen. On that note, if anybody out there did want to reach out, help or donate, do you have a way for them to do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything like that?
Yes, my social media is Third Shift KK.
So spell it out.
3RD SHFT.
Okay.
KAY.
Okay.
1.
Okay.
And my Cash App is also $3RD SHFT.
Okay.
KAY 107.
107.
G-Block.
Goodwood, you already know.
Yes.
All right, real quick. What's like the craziest or most traumatic story that you would have from doing sex work out here?
I think the time I got back here behind the
and what was it that happened? So was it just like you were just supposed to go do something and then they was like, nah, I ain't gonna pay you?
Okay, so he picked me up right here at this fork.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the fork on
West
West
Austin Road, yep.
Yeah. And he was like, I just want some top. I was like, okay, you got $40? He was like, yeah, I got $40 for you. So when I got in the car, I put my seatbelt on, and he went to try to make the left turn. I was like, oh, I got a room. We can go to my room. He was like, nah, we just gonna go right here real quick. I was like, I don't trust going everywhere. He was like, it's gonna be real fast, so we don't even need to go to your room. I was like, cool. So he turns by the FedEx building, and he turns into the church. It was pitch black over there. I was like, I'm not comfortable over here. And he was like, it's gonna be real quick. It's gonna be real quick. And so when we parked, he pulled his dick out, and I was like, I need my money first. He was like, come on, shout, I'm gonna give you money when we finish. I'm gonna give you money when we finish. I was like, no, I get my money up front. I was like, that's all right, just take me back, I'm cool. That's when he reached under his seat and he got a gun, and he pointed it at me. So I did like this to try to get out the car. He grabbed me by my neck and pulled me back in, and he hit me on the top of the head with a gun. And so when he hit me, I bowled him, and I jumped out the car. He jumped out the car real fast, and we was tussling on the side of the car. And so he actually tussled me to the ground and tried to pull my panties to the side because I had on a skirt. He tried to pull my panties to the side right there on the church ground and try to penetrate me. But I bit him so hard.
Where'd you bite him at?
I bit him on like his arm, somewhere right here on his arm. And I could tell he had bullets in his gun because when I bit him and he pulled up off me, he pointed the gun at me, but he wouldn't shoot. So I got up And I ran. I left my slippers, my phone, and everything right there on the ground. Yep.
Wow, that's wild.
It is.
Tell you what, man, got to be safe out here, man.
Yeah, you do.
I've heard a lot of different stories. So, well, listen, like I say, we really appreciate you. And we definitely wish you nothing but the best, all right?
Thank you so much.
Make sure you have a good one, sweetie.
All right, you too.
All right, all right.